Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today we're having a look at a Bachmann model today, as you can see, and you can tell two things. First thing you can tell is that the locomotive is not in the box. I've taken it out, I've DCC'd it, I've given it a run in. And the second thing you can see is the type of engine which we're looking at, which is a L&YR tank, which is Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. Now if we turn to the side, you can see the product code is 31-170. Focus please, there we go. And it's a Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway 242 tank, number 50764, and it's in British Railways lined black livery. And this particular, it's in, it just says British Railways on the side, it doesn't have the early emblem or the laid crest. You can see that it accepts a 6-pin DCC decoder. Turn to the back, you can see there's quite a bit of information about the class. Right, I'm going to talk about the history. So the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway tank, or officially they were classed as the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Class 5s. They were built to the design of John Aspinall between 1889 and 1911. And there were 330 locomotives built during this time, which made him one of the most numerous types on the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. And there were 242s, so they had 2 wheels at the front, 4 driving wheels in the middle, and then 2 wheels at the back. And they were built primarily for passenger trains. And rather uniquely, they featured a water scoop, which is very rare for tank engines, and they had a special double-ended water scoop, which basically what it meant was that the locomotive could pick up water while on the move in either direction. So that was quite a unique feature. I don't recall any other locomotive having that feature, but it was featured on this locomotive, this type of locomotive. Quite a few of these survived into BR days at the time of nationalisation in 1948. All of them were withdrawn by 1962, and one has been preserved, which is part of the National Collection. Its number is 1008, and it's at the National Railway Museum in York. And it is a good thing that one of these has been preserved. It's a shame that no more have been, because it was, after all, 330 engines. But then again, preservationists did what they could back in the 50s and the 60s. So let's at least be grateful there's one of these left. Now, as mentioned before, as you can see as well, locomotive is not in the box. We're going to put the box to one side. The locomotive is right here. Wow. Wow. So the first thing you'll notice is, aside from the fact that she looks really, really nice, is the weight. She is, for her size, she's not very big. She's really heavy. That's because the running board is made of die cast. Now the rest of the engine, such as the boiler, the side tanks, the cab, and the bunker, they're made of plastic. But the running board is entirely made of die cast. Even the steps on the side, entirely made of die cast, which is a really, really nice touch. Just look at her. She just looks so Victorian. Just look at the size of the chimney. But even more so, the dome is absolutely massive. But wow, let's start at the front. So if you look at the front, you can easily tell this is a Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway engine. That smoke box door just says it all. Aside from the fact, of course, when it was built, it didn't have it didn't have this number anyway, and it didn't have a shed code. But just the overall design just looks 100% Lancashire and Yorkshire. You get lamp irons on the smoke box, and also the 3 on the buffer beam. You can see you got a pre-fitted vacuum pipe there, along with a NEM coupling, which you can pull out and then fit your own if you would like. You get focus. Yep. You get sprung buffers, which is really, really nice. Your handrails running on both sides of the boiler, and also the smoke box, but only as far as the tanks, which is prototypical. And as you can see, so it's in the line British Rail livery, but instead of an early emblem it just says British Railways on the side. You get the whistle on top of the cab and the safety valves. Those are actually made of metal. They're not plastic made to look metal. They are proper metal safety valves and whistle. Really, really nice. The red, black, red lining is really, really nicely captured as well. And even the builder's plate is on both sides of the smoke box. It is completely legible. I think I read it and it does say LMS. It was built at Horwich Works, I think in 1890. I think this one was built in 1897. But it definitely does say, I mean, it's unusual how it says LMS when it was built by the Lancashire and Yorkshire, but I assume the LMS probably changed it at the time of grouping in 1923. I mean, it's quite remarkable how these engines remained in service well into BR days. I mean, obviously they were very old engines by that point. And there's its number, 50764, and the power classification of 2P, if it focuses. Yep, there we go. Look at the cab. That is such a nice cab. I mean, can't really see much in this lighting, but you can see the reverser handle. I'm just going to bring my phone. Yep, there we go. You can see, really, really nice. That's the best I can get. But there is quite a bit of cab detail, which is really, really nice. Then you can see the wheels. So you get the two driving wheels in the middle, and then the two radial trucks front and back. Well, wheels rather. Trucks is an American term. But yeah, and you see they do turn. And also they are sprung as well, so as you can see I can push that up. What that does is basically, if you've got gradients on your layout, then it basically what it doesn't do is it doesn't push the whole engine off the track. Because I've seen an issue with the Oxford Rail Adams radial tank, for example, where the radial truck at the back is not sprung, so it's just static. I mean, it does turn, but it just stays. It's not sprung upwards. So when it goes up a gradient, it basically pushes the driving wheels slightly off the track, not by too much, but enough to either lose traction or basically cut the power to the engine altogether, because it doesn't. Only the driving wheels pick up on that one. Even on this one, only the driving wheels pick up, but at least if you've got gradients, you'll have no issues whatsoever because of the sprung leading and trailing wheel axles. So that is a really, really nice design. And what I even notice is how they've included, you see this, let me just bring it up, yep, this is the water scoop, the double-ended one, as I mentioned. Yeah, let's just focus. This thing at the back, I don't know why it's shaking like that, but it's not going to come off because it is screwed in. But I don't know why it's like that. But yep, here you go, here's the water scoop. And it is double-ended, but the fact that they've included that is really, really nice, because you're not going to see that whilst running anyway. You get sprung buffers on the back. You get a very, very nice, you get quite a decent coal load. Let's just focus. Gosh, man, this camera is not the best at focusing today. Don't know why. Oh, it's really good. Come on, there we go. Right, so you can see you get a coal load, which looks really nice. This one looks much better than on some other Bachmann locos, most notably the Great Western City class that I own. The coal load on that one is absolutely terrible. This one, it looks much, much nicer. Let's look at the other side, which is the same as the other side basically, but yeah, all in all, I mean, it's just an absolutely amazing locomotive. Well worth the price. This was discounted at Rails of Sheffield for 70 quid. I think the recommended retail price is about 120 or so. Would I pay that much? I don't know. I think 120 is a bit excessive for a tank engine. But I mean, considering the fact that most are priced at, most with this level of detail are priced at that much, it's yeah, I don't know what to make of it. But I mean, if you can get it at a bargain, it is really, really nice. However, although detail may be one thing, but let's see how the locomotive actually runs. So here we have the Bachmann Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway tank on the track. Let's just have a quick look at the engine. It looks really, really nice, as you can see. It's absolutely amazing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give her some power, and off she goes. And away she goes. Wow. Not only does she look good, she runs brilliantly. She does have the standard Bachmann 3-pole motor, but that doesn't detract from the performance in my opinion, because she is running really, really well. Let's get a few shots of her passing. So yeah, as you can see, she's running brilliantly. Really, really nice. Now just for conclusion, and as you can see I am running her backwards, just to give you an idea how she does run backwards. I mean, she is designed to go in both directions. So but anyway, just to conclude this video, highly recommended. Especially if you're modelling the particular region which the engine worked in, which is obviously the northwestern region. I highly recommend it. Or if you're just into your steam trains in general, highly recommend it. It's such a nice model, and if you can get it at a bargain, well worth it. Absolutely worth it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next review. Goodbye.